Hey guys, this is Mr. H again. Hey, um, I wanted to do the question on page 12 because I want to show you what you need to do when they ask you to do to give the exact answer, and it's irrational. How do you do that? How is that supposed to work? All right, so now the other thing I want to mention is in this question, it says completing the square. But we are not going to do completing the square. We're kind of cut. Unfortunately we're short on time, and so we're not going to teach. I'm not going to teach completing the square. I will have a few videos and a link. I will put a link in this video to how you do completing the square, because I'm going to create a series of videos for completing the square. For those students who want to learn how to do completing the square, you can watch the videos and hopefully that'll be enough for you. But for this one, we're going to use the quadratic formula to solve this. So we've got x squared minus 8x minus 5. So that's what we're going to write here. It's going to be 1x squared minus 8x minus 5 equals 0. The a term is 1. The b term is a negative 8. The c term is a negative 5. We're going to use the quadratic formula. We're going to store all those numbers. So the b term is a negative 8. The a term is 1. The c term is a negative 5. So now we've filled in everything that we need to fill in. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to use the calculator, and I want to show you that this one is not so nice as the previous problem was. So now all I have to do again is I just have to store the new number. So I'm going to store 1 into A. I'm going to store a negative 8 into B. I'm going to store a negative 5 into C. And there we have it. Now I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to copy the quadratic formula. And then I'm going to press enter. And it gives me a decimal. And this problem doesn't want decimals. It said, I want the exact value. And the exact value is not a decimal. It has to be in the form of a fraction. So how am I going to do that? Because it's irrational. Irrational means that it can't be converted to a fraction. That's exactly right. I hope that's what you were saying. But so this is what we're going to do. What we're going to do, and the reason that this problem is irrational is that the b squared minus 4ac part, that is not a perfect square. So when you take the square root of something that is not a perfect square, it gives you an irrational number. So what we're going to do, instead of calculating this part out, we're just going to leave it. We're just going to leave that number in there. Let me show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the calculator again just to get that part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this b squared minus 4ac part, the part inside the square root, and I'm just going to see what that number is. I already know it's going to be a non-perfect square, so I'm going to go b squared minus 4a times c. And then I press enter. So it's 84. I know that's not a perfect square. The reason I know that's not a perfect square is that 81 is a perfect square. So 9 times 9 gives you 81. So that means that 84 can't be a perfect square. So now what I'm going to do then is I'm going to leave the square root with the 84 inside. So let me show you how I would do this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to write my answer is x equals, I'm going to leave all of this. So it's going to be a negative 8 plus or minus. Now this part in here, when you calculate it, it's going to be 84. So I'm just going to leave that as 84. And down here, it's going to be 2. So that's our answer. Now, you might want to clean it up. You can say a negative times a negative is going to be a positive 8. This will be plus or minus. This will be 84. And this will be over 2. That is an exact answer. We left it in the form of a fraction. We've got both of the roots, plus or minus gives us both of the roots. We know what this b squared minus 4ac part is. That's 84. We're done. This would get you 2 points, leaving it in this form. Okay. So whenever they ask you for an exact value, and this is not just for quadratics, this is for the regions in general. Whenever they ask for exact values, they're saying, I don't want decimals. If I don't want any decimals, I want you to leave it as a fraction. And that's what we've done. All right. I know this one is a little bit different from all the other ones, but it's very important. So if you don't understand it, please let me know that. All right, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to post.